All right, and that was The Visitors. Stop right here on Indy 104 and I Radio LA. Mark Maverick in the mornings, and it is time, because it's Tuesday at 11 o'clock. It's time that we talk with a special guest, and today our special guest is JR Atkins, the lead guitarist and one of the vocalists for The Great American Novel. And you guys are out of New York?
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Now, how come you don't have the Brooklyn accent?
It's because I grew up in Philly. I just moved up here a few years ago to go to school.
Oh, so you went from the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches to, what do they have in Brooklyn, like the big pretzels or something?
I haven't had any pretzels. Pizza. Pizza's pretty big out here.
Is that what they're famous for, pizza? They have so much good food back east.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I probably eat more tacos than anything. Yeah, there's a rice ball, Italian rice ball place around the corner. We eat that a lot, too. So there's all kinds of cool food in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. You know, I need to go back there. I've only been to New York City one time, and it lasted about 15 minutes because I got off the Greyhound bus. I was joining the military, and I had an extra day, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go to New York, see the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, and all that. Walked from one end of the bus station to the other and ran back. I was approached like 3 or 4 times, and, you know, I'm a country boy, first time in the big city, and, oh, man, I was scared to death. You know, I probably stood out like a sore thumb anyway, you know, being a redneck and all that. But
I have a lot of family in the South, and they are absolutely not willing to come visit me up here. But Brooklyn is much less crowded. I don't think it'd be so bad. You're more than welcome to come visit anytime.
Yeah, I'll have to come over there. You know, that's my thing, is I'm going to come over there if I know somebody there that can take me around, you know. Because New Yorkers are, you know, bad people. When I say bad, I'm talking about, you know, like, you know, don't mess with me kind of bad. You know, not that they're good people.
Yeah, I don't know about our band. I think we might be the kind of people that turn and run rather than stand and fight.
Oh, man. Speaking of your band, tell us tell us all the band members there, because you guys have quite a few.
We do. We have. It's ever changing. Not really, but it's me, JR. I play guitar, and then Lane Montgomery is our lead singer, and he writes all the songs. Peter Kilpin is our bassist. Devin Calderon plays keyboards and also sings, and Aiden Shepard plays drums. And we've had a bunch of different guys play all kinds of tambourines and shakers and backup vocalists that don't do anything, and all kinds of people come up on stage. So if you ever see us, there's probably going to be somebody else jumping around with us.
All right. Now, who's Natasha?
Natasha's our manager.
Our manager. Okay. I figured she was your manager, but I wanted to give her a plug, too, because that's who's been communicating with us is Natasha. So a pretty good-sized band. Now, do you play all over Brooklyn, or do you guys go on tour as well? Or?
Yeah. We're trying to book our first tour for this winter actually right now, but so far we've played a whole lot in Brooklyn and Manhattan, a little bit in Queens. We've played upstate New York a few times, and we've also gone back down to Philly, where me and Devin, the keyboardist, are from, and we've played a few times back home.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were telling me earlier that you guys are trying to work on a tour to go out and tour the country.
Yeah. I think we're gonna try and do that this winter. I'm not sure exactly where we're trying to go. Maybe down south towards New Orleans or something. But you know, we haven't done it yet. But we have vinyls being made right now of our newest record, Kissing. So I think the plan is to maybe go on tour and try and sell some of those.
So you guys are actually putting them on vinyl again?
Yeah. We're actually not getting CDs made. We're just getting vinyls made.
You know, this is what's really funny is because you know how history repeats itself, they say.
Yeah.
And I heard vinyl is getting really popular again. CDs are kind of out the window. You know, digital is the way to go, but vinyl. You know, I mean, people are even putting in their digital tracks the record skip. You know, the record pops. You know. You know, and well, this is great.
Yeah, I think all of us, you know, grew up with, you know, we're a pretty young band. I think all of us kind of grew up with computers in our houses and stuff. And I mean, as bad as it is, I think a lot of us, when we were like 13, used like downloading services and stuff, you know what I mean, and got music because we really didn't understand how wrong that was then. But I think that kind of has changed our attitude. So like we understand that people don't really want to pay for music on the internet. That's why you can get our album you can name your price on Bandcamp. But we think, if we get the vinyls made, that'll be something that's kind of more collectible. It's like more of a souvenir.
Yeah. I need to get another turntable because some artists in the last few years have sent me like a 45. I go, what am I going to do with this? It doesn't fit in the CD player, And but no,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting. I hear a lot of college students are collecting vinyl records from like the secondhand stores and things like that.
Yeah, no, it's huge. It's a huge thing. I mean, I think every time you go somewhere new, one of the first things you do is look through their record collection now.
Yeah. Now, does it cost more to put it on vinyl?
A little bit, but we think it's worth it because
I'm really surprised there's even companies out there, unless they restarted back up.
yeah, I guess it's like Lane. Lane is doing it. I don't know all the details exactly, but there's a company in Las Vegas called Mojave Plastics.
Mm-hmm.
I think is the name of the company, and they're pressing it on like red, white, and blue blended vinyl. So it's going to be like colorful too. It's not just going to be black. It's going to be really cool.
Oh, that is awesome. Well,
Yeah,
you're
we're
going to have to
excited
send me a copy of that when they're autographed.
Yeah,
The pack, is it going to be in a sleeve? Like the old cardboard sleeves, or how are you going to have it?
Yeah. Yep, we just got some of the art for it yesterday, and it's really great.
Well, you guys are going to have to autograph one of those and send it down to me.
Absolutely.
And all right, and let's see. Let's talk a little bit about your music. Now, we have a song that we're going to play right now, I Believe in Love. You said this was off your first album.
Yes,
And,
this actually predates me in the band, but we play it live all the time.
Now, I'm assuming the band writes their own music. Somebody writes the lyrics, everybody else works on the music, or how does that work?
Yeah, I would say like Lane will send us demos a lot of the time, where he might write the chordal like parts and then put electronic drums on it, and then me and Devin will add melodies with our specific instruments, and then the drummer might change some things up, and kind of evolves from there. But Lane definitely does a lot of the legwork. I can't say that enough.
Well, even though this presets you here, but I Believe in Love, what is this song about?
This song, I think, is just about, I think Lane, when he was writing this, he, a lot of times, like, it's not cool to be honest, or, like, it's not cool to just express yourself in, like, kind of, like, maybe, like, a cheesy or kitsch way, but I think this was just his way of saying, like, forget it, like, I do have these feelings, and I do, believe in love, even if that's lame.
Okay. Well, let's take a listen to it. The Great American Novel with I Believe in Love, right here, Indy 104 and I Radio LA.
Wonder
of course, we all believe in love. This is Indie 104 and I Radio LA, and you just heard the great American novel, I Believe in Love. I was going to say Nuv, because the novel, Nuv. And we're talking with JR Atkins from the band, The Great American Novel. And you said this was from the first album, so it kind of was before your time, but you guys still play this song when you play your gigs.
Yeah, we actually just re-recorded it a few weeks ago. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Cool. Well, you know, did it change much when you re-recorded it?
You know, the drum beat is a little different, and I changed up the guitar part a little bit. But, you know, it's the same basic structure, but it's kind of just like a revamped, more mastered version. Because the studio we record at actually has undergone incredible improvements in the last year. So, I mean, like, the stuff they're churning out now compared to, I think it was almost 2 years ago when that came out, is just, you know, it's so much better that we wanted to give it another chance, you know.
Well, when it comes out, we want to play it here first, and we'll put it in rotation, and we'll kind of change it out with this one here since it's the new band. And you know, in fact, all your new music we want to play, obviously, out here. And now, offline, we were talking about what genre do you consider yourselves, and you were saying, what was the word you're calling?
I think indie pop or power pop. Those would be the two terms that I would struggle with. But I think I would prefer indie pop, because power pop to me is something a little bit more like Green Day. I don't know. Whatever.
You know, I mean, I don't know, because you know there used to be only 2 genres.
Right.
There was country, actually 3. There was country, western, and then rock and roll. And then now there's a million, I mean literally a million genres underneath each one of those. You know, I mean there's, you know, R&B, there's rock and roll, there's rock pop, you know, and it just goes on and on and on.
It's been getting thrown around lately has been sweater rock, which I don't fully understand, but I know it has something to do with liking the band Weezer. So that's another thing that we've been calling ourselves, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, all I know is that your music is very poppy, and it's very happy. You know, it's like fun. And now, are all the songs, you know, kind of upbeat and fun like that?
Yeah, most of them. Honestly, I mean, like there's very few songs on the album that you can't. Really, there isn't any song on the album that you can't dance to. But I think there's, I mean, maybe 1 or 2 that even could be considered to have a slow tempo on the most recent album. It's pretty upbeat stuff, which is a lot of the reason that it's so much fun to play with the band, and it's such a great experience when we play live, because it's just always so high energy. You know, it's like even if you're having a bad day, you go to a Great American Novel show, it's like everybody's just jumping around and laughing and having a good time. It's a lot of fun.
See, and that's what I like. I like a band where you have fun going and seeing them. You know, I mean, you know, spitting fire and, you know, stuff like that, yeah, it might be okay, you know, for some things, or spitting blood or whatever. But having fun, you know, bouncing around and having fun, that is more important to me. You know, I mean, and I love to go see bands play live anyway, so it's fun. I wish you guys were closer so I can, you know, go to your gigs. I mean, you guys are clear across the country.
Yeah, well, I hope we get out there someday soon. That's definitely a goal.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Los Angeles area, I wouldn't say it's hard to play at places, but I don't know in New York, but here in LA, it's a pay to play.
Really?
You have to sell tickets, you know, and it's usually like $600 to $800. I haven't checked lately to see what it is, and you have to sell that many tickets, or you pay that for 45 minutes.
That's insane.
You know, so that's why we're starting this, I'm calling it Pizza Rock, because it's at a pizzeria, or pizza restaurant, or Italian restaurant if you want to call it that. It seats 160 people, and you don't have to sell tickets or anything. Just bring your your friends, your fans. You get in there, and when you play, you make 10% of the profits, and bands in the past have made up to $1,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, so we're going to see how that works. You know, we just need more bands.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we need more bands.
I'll try and let you know if we're ever going to.
Yeah, so definitely do that. Now, what's the website where people can go to find out more about The Great American Novel?
It's thegreatamericannnovel.bandcamp.com.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have a Facebook as well?
Yeah, and that's just, I think just Facebook. Facebook.com/The Gan Band.
The Gan Band. Great
Yeah, I
American
could be
Novel.
wrong. It might be the Great American Novel Band.
I think it is the Gan Band because when I went there, look, there was something else. There was a book or a novel that was the Great American Novel. So, so the Gan Band. And again, if you just go on there and search the Great American Novel Band, it's going to pop up. In fact, I think that's how I found you on Facebook. Everybody loves Facebook, well, except for me. But everybody loves Facebook, so get on there, find out more about them, become friends, and check out some of their music as well. And, I love telling stories. And I love the bands when they come on air and they tell stories about the band. And now you said you had something that kind of a scary story for you guys that happened a little bit back. I think you guys were going through a storm.
Oh yeah, over the weekend. It wasn't that scary. It was just stressful, man. Like we had been at Bard this last weekend, and we stayed up almost for 3 days just partying with these guys and playing. We played one show, they played two, and it was just a blast. But we came back on Saturday morning, and we were trying to get food. And there's this weird band ritual where whenever we can go to a Sonic, we do, because like when we were all growing up, none of us were around Sonic restaurants. So I think that's really weird to people who live around that restaurant, because it's not, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like, to drive an hour for, which is what we ended up doing. But after we got it, I was driving and it just started raining like so hard, and the windshield wiper on my driver's side just like broke and like was hanging and like dragging across my windshield. And I pull over and I try and fix it, and I think I fix it, and I keep driving, and then like 10 minutes later it literally just pops off my car and flies off to the side, like just gone. So I have to keep driving. It's pouring down rain on this 2-lane like country road, and there's a ton of traffic for some reason. There's all these traffic lights that are you're just stuck there for like 10 minutes at a time. I'd never been in any county where the traffic lights took this long. So I am just like so stressed out at this point because I hadn't had much sleep. And I finally get to a automotive shop. The guy's not behind the counter. I'm standing there waiting. There are these two little boys running around, pulling at my legs and just, like yelling. And I'm just like, I'm so tired and a little bit hungover. And the guy finally comes in, and I tell him the size I need for my car. He's disagreeing with me and all this stuff. And it finally gets to the point where I pay him, and my credit card gets declined. And that was just like the icing on the cake. So I had to go back out the car and ask the guys for some cash. And it was fine in the end, but it was definitely one of the more stressful points of the touring life. Not even touring, but just gigging life so far.
Well, I always tell people, I said, you're not a rock band until your car breaks down, you have to sleep in your van overnight, or something to that effect. And this is one of those incidences, where something goes wrong. And luckily, it wasn't like one band we talked to where they went to a gig and it was like an overnight drive. They get there, and then they find out that the sound guy forgot to bring the mixer.
Wow.
Forgot the soundboard. So luckily they asked around town, and they were able to borrow a smaller one. But, they got the gig done anyway. But, yeah.
I'm one of the only people that I know with a car in Brooklyn, and there have been many times that people have had to take my car from gigs to go get drum sets or PA systems. Like, there was one time that we showed up at a place, and we were told that everything was going to be there, and there was nothing there. And we literally had to make it all appear just out of phone calls. It was
no backline or nothing, huh?
Yeah, no, it's never the best backline either when you have to throw it together like that. But it always works out,
Yeah,
we're not worried about it. Like, we're not too meticulous about our sound, I think that's kind of freeing in a way, and like it allows the process to happen.
Well, we have a show called Band Talk, and we talk about the things, what you need to look out for when you're in a band. And one of the topics was this specific thing. Okay, when you go to a gig, you need to find out, is there a backline, yada, 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 and what is in it. But we also said you need to bring your own equipment just in case. Because we had a show one time that we did a broadcast at. They had backline there, but the drum kit, the cymbals, with the little neck on the cymbal, the neck on it, you know how you can move it to different angles. Well, that was stripped out, and the cymbals kept sliding down, and the foot pedal kept falling off the kick drum, and I mean just all sorts of stuff. So,
Sure.
you know, so yeah, and you guys learned the hard way too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like you definitely have to learn how to communicate within the band about that kind of thing too, because being in New York, a lot of places do have backlines. So honestly, there are more gigs that I don't have to bring anything but my guitar to than there aren't. But, you know, like I need to know in advance when there are. And like the same thing goes with a drummer, you know, sometimes he needs to bring a snare drum, sometimes he needs to bring snare, cymbals, stands. And like the other day we played at the Mercury Lounge, which is like this really cool venue on the in the East Village. Like the Strokes like used to play there and like sell it out all the time, and like we're huge fans of them. So it was like this really like big thing for us. And we get there and realize that we don't have a snare drum, and the only snare drum we can use doesn't have snares on the bottom. So we use like a snare drum without snares. It's like pung, pung, pung.
Yeah,
like every time we hit the drum, we sounded like a ska band or something. So it worked out.
Well, hey, there's a new sound for you right there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we're gonna get back to that, but we tried it once.
Alrighty, let's take a listen to another song now. This one here, American Weekend. This is off your new album.
Yeah, this one I am on. This is like our single. This is the one that has been getting a lot of attention. We really like the song. We play it a lot. We love it.
Now,
it was inspired by a trip we did up to Colgate, which is in upstate New York, and that actually involved all of us going back to Philadelphia because that's where my car was at the time. And it was Lane is a city kid. He grew up in Vegas, but then went to high school here, and so like I think it was one of the first times that he actually left the city in a while. So, and we got to drive through all this rural terrain in Pennsylvania and upstate New York, and like American Weekends, I think, is kind of just like about being outside of New York City and like doing what we're doing, like, you know, going out places and playing. But yeah. So,
yeah, you know, like The Great American Novel, done the Great American Weekend.
All right, America.
Okay, let's take a listen to that. The Great American Novel with American Weekend right here, Indy 104 and I Radio LA.
American Weekend.
was the Great American Novel with American Weekend, and again, another song that you just can't stop from tapping your foot. Am I right, JR?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you might have left me there for a second. But no, I love the music because it's kind of what I call bubblegum pop or bubblegum rock. It's more for the younger generation. Now, when you go out and do your gigs, what's the average age of the people that come out?
I would say 18 to 25 probably.
Yeah, I would say it's younger. I mean, I like it, and I'm a bazillion years old. But I like it too. I mean, because I'm into music.
All of our parents seem to enjoy it. But they've all come out to see us, so it's not weird to see somebody in their 40s or 50s coming out. But we've had grandparents come out too. We've definitely had people in their 60s come out, 70s even maybe. Mm-hmm. But we play a lot of DIY venues in Brooklyn. We're a part of this studio, Mama Coco's Funky Kitchen. And that's where we record, and there's a bunch of other bands there, like the Harmonica Lewinsky's and Ghost Pal and Dr. Skinny Bones. And we all kind of try and book shows together and help each other out. And it's really, really awesome. I love it a lot. I mean, it's definitely one of the benefits of being in this band is being a part of that larger family.
Yeah. Now, when we talked earlier offline, you were talking about Dr. Skinny Bones, and you wanted to talk about him. I've never heard him, but that's a really cool name. So are you guys really close with them?
Check them out. They have an album out called Bad Education, and we just went up to Bard with them this weekend and actually saw them open for Amanda Palmer of the Dresden Dolls, and they absolutely killed it. I mean, they're really, really good. Definitely lighting the fire under all of us a little bit because they're really sounding great right now, and everybody should check them out. They're awesome.
All right, now do you guys talk to them on a regular basis or anything?
Yeah, actually, their drummer was best friends with our drummer in high school, and their guitarist was in a band with Oliver Ignatius, who runs Mama Coco's Funky Kitchen and actually used to play bass and still sings a lot and performs those live. So he knows him very well, and then we have a member that knows the other member very well. So it was actually a really awesome coincidence that it worked out that way.
Yeah. Well, next time you guys talk to them, tell the band to send me some of their music, and then we'll get them here on Indie 104 as well.
I definitely will.
So, because we always like to play new bands, or not new, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
And all that there. I'm just looking at some more music here for you. Now, we have all the sad young literary man. Literary? I don't
literary,
know.
Yeah,
literary man. It's my bifocals aren't working too well here, and it's little tiny letters over on the screen. Now, is this off the new album or the old?
Yeah, this is off the new one too. This song is rife with literary references. This is really Lane showing off what he does lyrically. This song is filled with references to books. The band's name actually came from a book he was reading about. I think it was called The Great American Novel. And tons of songs have been lifted from book titles. I mean, if we ever get sued, we're probably gonna be in trouble. But maybe.
Yeah. In fact, I was gonna ask you guys, how you came up with The Great American Novel? I mean,
it was called The Great American Novel before I was in it. It was from a book that he was reading, and he just liked the way it sounded, I guess, and thought it would be a cool band name.
All right. Yeah, because there's some bands that have some really strange names, but they sound cool. How did you guys come up with that name? And their explanation is way out there too. So I'm going wow. All right, well, let's take a listen to this one here. All the Sad Young Literary Men. And we're talking with JR Atkins, one of the guitarists from The Great American Novel, out of New York, Brooklyn, New York, of all places. And we're going to get some more music right here on Indie 104 and iRadio LA. was The Great American Novel right here on Indie 104 and iRadio LA. We're talking with JR Atkins, one of the players in the band, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. And, I love the music because it's bouncy. It makes me feel young. Well, it makes me feel younger. Anyway, because like I said, I'm old. So anything under the age of 50 makes me feel young. Yes, you can laugh. You can laugh. No,
I don't think you're old.
Yeah.
I don't think you're old.
My body says I'm 80. But anyway, gigs. I think we talked a little bit, but have any upcoming gigs?
We're playing in Brooklyn this weekend on Saturday at this bar called Much More's in Williamsburg. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Some other Mama Coco's bands did a split EP, No Shoes and Basil Gang. It's called Mingling. That's the release show is this Saturday. So if anyone is listening in Brooklyn, please come out. It'll be a lot of fun. It's DIY, so it's gonna be cheap stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The stuff will be for sale. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited.
All right, cool. And again, the website people can go to find out more or hear about your music is thegreatamericannovel.bandcamp.com. Now, I'm going to suggest something here because we talked about this on our Indie Band Talk show. You guys need to get a regular website, too, so you can put more things on there. Pictures, videos, tracks, and link.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's in the works. I think we're doing a lot of stuff, trying to get it all together. But
and the reason why I'm saying that live is because there's other bands out there in the same thing. They're using their MySpace or their Facebook or whatever as their main site, and you really need to get your own website out there. And the reason why is people go into search, Great American Novel, and boom, it's going to pop up. And going there where it's Facebook and stuff, it's a little bit harder to get to. So this is for everybody, all the listeners, all the bands. If you're a business, whatever, get a regular website. And they're real easy, if not free. You can get them done for free in some cases. Everybody who has the internet, your service provider gives you free server space for a website. Everybody's got it. So use it and abuse it. Well, I don't know about abuse it, but use it anyway. Man. So now, I'm assuming the only reason why you're talking to me by yourself is because the other band members are working or in school or something.
Yeah. I was actually supposed to be in school, so sorry.
So you're skipping out today.
Yeah, no, I thought they told us the interview was at 10:45, and I assumed it was Eastern time, but it was Pacific time.
Yeah.
So I've been hanging out. But no, Lane, the lead singer, works, and everybody else is in class right now. We all, except for the keyboard player, he goes to Marymount. The rest of us all go to Eugene Lang, which is a division of the New School in Manhattan.
So what's your what are you taking? What's your major going to be?
I'm a theater major with a focus in playwriting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really, I'm not very into the theater itself, but I enjoy reading plays and stuff. But I think everybody, the drummer is also a theater major. I think everybody else is literary stuff, literary studies.
So nobody's really getting into music. I mean, even though the theater can help a little bit.
My roommate Devin, our keyboardist, he actually went to UArts in Philly, which is a jazz school, and left there because he didn't enjoy it. Now he goes to Marymount for communications, but I think he's thinking about going back to jazz school. He's definitely the most versatile musician in the band. He's kind of a machine with all that stuff. So I think he might want to go back to jazz school. But the rest of us, I think that we all just play more for fun, than to really try and we don't want to be music teachers, and I don't think that you really can do very much else. Maybe I'm wrong, but with the music degree, at least that's how I felt when I was applying to schools.
Well, some other bands, they have a major or degree in something to do with music, and it actually helps them out writing their music and playing their music. But again, theater also kind of helps bands out because it helps you with your stage presence.
Right. Yeah, and I've read a ton of music theory and I've taken guitar lessons for years, so I feel when I took some classes at Berkeley, which is a music school, and I just felt like there was not much. There's like it seems like the best thing about music school is meeting other musicians, and we still got that done without going to music school, so I definitely don't regret my decision.
Yeah, but things sometimes help and sometimes they don't. But a lot of bands, I should say, their music is fantastic, but when they get on stage, they look like dead fish.
Yeah.
But they're playing great, but they're not doing anything. So bands need to build their stage presence up, and sometimes a little bit of theater here helps. But again, theater and I don't know what you call it, but theater singers, people who sing, like in musicals and stuff, they have a different style.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And I've always said, what if you take, say, a rocker and put him in a musical and change, so the musical is like regular music, regular singing, not a Broadway musical type singing.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, see, now that's one. That's one of them right there. That
we love that.
Yeah,
that's me and Devin. That's some of our favorite stuff. I mean, that's
my
daughter.
Yeah, my daughter. She's big into drama and musicals, and she's only 14 years old, and she's already been in like Gleeified and
Wow.
Plays at school, plays at the church, plays at university here. And, so she's in all these different organizations. And she's busy, and she also leads the music worship for the kids at our church. So she is very, very into it, and she doesn't like us to come see her. But when we're watching her, we go to the programs, and my mouth just drops open. My jaw drops because I'm going like, wow, she's good. Because we don't see her anything else. So, but yeah, drama and theater does help out some things. It helps get over those stage frights, those butterflies and stuff. And then it teaches you, hey, let's move around a little bit on stage. Now, when you guys are on stage, is your stage presence, how is your stage presence? In other words, like when you do a guitar solo, do you get out in the audience kind of thing, get in their faces, on stage?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we all love that aspect of playing. I think that most of us have been playing in bands for years and years. So I think a lot of us, I've been playing guitar since I was like 12. So and I've been playing in front of people since I was like 13. So a lot of that stuff where we've gotten the jitters out. We've been playing. We play so often. We play almost every weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 times a weekend. That I really feel like if there's one thing that we really do have is a good stage presence, and I think we really do bring a live energy. Like the other day, our bass player Peter brought a backpack full of lightsabers to the show, and for a song that he doesn't play on, he just went out in the crowd and gave everybody lightsabers, and they had a huge lightsaber fight while we were playing a song, and it was a lot of fun. I think stuff like that is
see, that's awesome because you're interacting, you're getting involved with the crowd, and that is great. And and that's what people need to do. You interact with the crowd, you make them part of the band, basically. They're wanted. If your music is great, your stage presence, and you get them interacting, you have the winning combination right there, and people will want to come back. And you'll pick up new fans. So that is fantastic. That is great. All right, let's take a listen to another song here. Are You Sure You Don't Want to Hang Out? Now, let me guess what this one here is about. This one here, you're probably talking to a girl, and she doesn't want anything to do with you. Are you sure you don't want to hang out with me? Is that kind of what it's about? Or?
I don't know if she doesn't want to have anything. It's more. I think it's more the mixed signals. It's like maybe she says she wants to hang out at one point, and then she changes her mind because she has, some weird, not very good reason. And it's like, are you sure? Like, really? Like, you're gonna do this? I think, yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, I'm still there, and I've been married for, 16 years now. So, all righty, well, let's take a listen to it. The Great American Novel, Are You Sure You Don't Want to Hang Out? Right here on Indie 104 and I Radio LA. that all the time. Are you sure you don't want to hang out right here in Indy 104 and iRadio LA? That was The Great American Novel, and we're talking with JR Atkins all the way from Brooklyn, New York, and he's the lead guitarist, and he plays saxophone and some background vocals.
Yeah, I do. I would say I would do guitar, background vocals, then saxophone. I played saxophone in high school. I picked it up when I was like 16, and then I played one part on Lane Montgomery is Bad at Girls, which is a track from the album. I don't know if you have that one or not. That one's actually one of my favorites. But yeah, so I'm very, very, very much not a saxophone. Well, I play saxophone, but I wouldn't call myself a saxophonist by any means.
Well, no, we don't have that track. So Natasha, if you're listening in, send us that track. And now we were just talking again when that song was playing, how the lead singer's voice sounded tinny. You know how you get that sound. And tell us the story about that.
Well, yeah, there's a few different parts on the album where we use sounds like that. With that song specifically, our producer, Oliver Ignatius, who I cannot speak highly enough about, he did that in post-production. That's like a vocal filter kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly what the sound is called that he used, or the program, but anything like Pro Tools or Logic has stuff like that on it where you can change the sound of the voice. But yeah, and then other times there's some parts where we'll just kind of like scream things out, and we used to take like the boxes that microphone stands would come in, which are like these really long triangular boxes, and we'd get at the other end of them and like yell stuff, so it would kind of give it like a really echoey kind of, you know what it sounds like when you speak or something like that. But we would do that, then record that into the mic, and that really came out cool. We really like that. So I'm sure we'll be doing that again.
Yeah. Well, you just brought up an excellent point. If you want to get your own sound, there are bands that they record in the bathroom or they record in a hallway, to get that sound.
The Traveling Wilburys, which is, Tom Petty, George Harrison, Bob Dylan, and a bunch of other people, I'm forgetting, Jeff Lynne, they... I watched a documentary on them, and on one of their songs, they literally played like the shelves in the refrigerator, like these like metal shelves, and they played them like forks, and like that was like recorded for the album.
Yeah, so like you were saying, a lot of bands come up with their own sound because they're, beating on a box. In fact, what's that called? A timbali, or not a timbali? The box that they sit on
Oh yeah.
What
is that called? I don't know.
Yeah, you know what we're talking about. The wood, the plywood box that you sit on.
Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
They came from beating on a box or the tabletop. That's how they kind of came up with the idea. And in fact, when I was in the band years and years ago, I was the drummer. And when we did like a little acoustic set, obviously you don't bring a drum set. So what I did is I took an acoustic guitar, flipped it upside down on my lap, and then put a towel actually on the back of the guitar and tapped on that, kind of like bongos.
That's awesome.
And it has a really kind of neat sound because the bigger end of the bottom end of the guitar has a bottom sound.
I've had bands to take like pieces of like wood with them too, and like stomp on that, and like get like a really kind of like cool like flat foot on wood kind of sound.
Yeah.
And like use that as a kind of percussive thing in their set, and that's always really cool.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different things that bands can do. In fact, this might be a topic that we can play or talk about on our band talk show because there's a lot of cheap, if not free things, like you're talking about the boom stand, or microphone stand box. You got those long tubes. Talk through those, you get a different sound. If you make it, because cardboard, is kind of dense, I guess you could say, so you'll get one sound out of that. But if you get a plastic tube, same length or whatever, and you're talking that, it's going to have a completely different sound, from the cardboard. So try different things and come up with it. And the cool thing is if you do that live, it's something different, and people are going to go, man, you can't wait till he sings in the tube, or whatever, and make it a part of the show. And look at Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat on, blow on, and pound on.
Stomp. Do you guys have to stomp in LA?
I've seen that once before. That's another. Yeah, I've seen that live. Yes, that is another show that they just hit anything, tin can.
Yeah, they were on the Olympics. They had that on the Olympics at the closing ceremonies because it's from London or something.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Olympics too much this year. I started off, but I like playing volleyball, but I just didn't get off, and I don't like beach volleyball. So anyway,
I guess is LA is not that big of a sports town, is it?
It is if you're baseball.
Okay.
So we got the Dodgers and
the Angels.
They were the LA Angels of Anaheim or something, whatever they changed their name to. But so baseball we're big into. They used to have, I think, the Raiders here years ago, but
the Rams used to be there a long time ago.
Yeah, and the Rams, and they're talking about bringing another football team back, but I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, we have the LA Coliseum, so I mean we already got the football fields, so let's use it. So anyway, we are just about out of time. Again, JR Atkins from the Great American Novel, and we're talking with him live all the way from Brooklyn, New York. You can find out more information about the band at thegreatamericannovel.bandcamp.com, and you can also look for them on Facebook as well. And again, what's the gigs coming up here this weekend?
We're playing on Saturday the 15th at Muchmore's in Williamsburg.
Okay, so if you're in the Brooklyn area, go check them out, and hopefully we can get you guys out here in the Los Angeles area where everybody on the West Coast can come up and check you guys out live as well.
Yeah, hope to be there someday soon.
I think it'll be fun because all of your music, even the one that was more slow, was a fun song.
That's good.
It's just
bouncy.
I mean, it makes me want to jump up and down, kind of dance with it. But, if I do that, the earthquake will start an earthquake here, and my stomach won't stop, flapping around and all that. So, but, no, it's great music, and it seems like a lot of fun there. And I can't wait to see you guys live, So make sure you guys come out to Los Angeles.
We'll be there.
All righty. Again, JR Atkins of the Great American Novel, out of Brooklyn, New York. Check them out on the internet and buy their music. They got some new albums coming out. When's the new album going to be coming out, by the way?
Once we record it.
Once you record, you haven't even started it yet, then.
We've done some sessions. I think there's a lot of that's a hot topic in the band right now. I think I would expect something no later than March.
Okay, so you want to take your time. You want to do it right and do it the best you can. You don't just slap it together and throw it out there because. Especially when it was on vinyl. Man, I can't believe it. I want to see that album. I want you guys to autograph one and send it to me because
I will, absolutely. We will.
That is awesome. All right, JR, thanks again for coming online with us. We got to get running here. And again, check them out, The Great American Novel at greatamericannovel.bandcamp.com. And thanks again for coming online with us.
Thank you so much.
All right,
talk to you soon.
Okay, stay online with me here, and we're going to get some music by request. Robin, I Found Love on Indie 104 and I Radio LA.